Easy Dreamers, welcome back to another lesson with me, Tom. Today we're looking at portmanteaus. A portmanteau is when you take two words and you put them together to make one new beautiful word. For example, email, electronic mail. Put those together, email. And Easy Dreamers, I've got 20 more portmanteaus that I'm going to teach you right after this. Welcome to Eat Sleep Dream English. If you haven't met me before, my name is Tom and I teach fresh, modern British English so that you can take your English to the next level and achieve your life goals, whatever they may be. Before we get going, guys, remember I've got my membership scheme. It's up, it's running. If you want to join us in our live streams where I answer your questions, if you want to get behind the scenes photos, if you want to get extra videos, then click the join button below this video right next to the subscribe button and come be a member of Eat Sleep Dream English. What is a portmanteau? Well, the origin of the word portmanteau is from French and it means a travelling suitcase or a travelling case. And it was first used by Lewis Carroll in his book Through the Looking Glass. In the book there's a poem called Jabberwocky which includes lots of words that have been blended together to make new words. So he coined the phrase portmanteau and it's stuck ever since. And now we find hundreds of portmanteaus in our everyday language. Our first word is carjack. Carjack. This is the word car and hijack put together to make carjack. So this is when a driver of a car is attacked by someone and then their car is stolen. It's taken from them, usually violently. Carjack can be a verb. The noun would be carjacking and the person perpetrating the crime would be a carjacker. So let's put this into a sentence. Carjacking is becoming a huge problem in my city. Carjacking has become a huge problem in my city. Number two is a very modern one and one you're gonna love. Hangry. Hangry. This is a combination of hungry and angry. Now I'm sure you've all felt this before. That feeling that you're hungry and therefore you get a bit irritated, a little bit angry. And it's because you haven't eaten and maybe you react badly to what someone has said or something. This feeling is hangry and you can resolve the problem by eating, but yeah, anyway. Example sentence, I think we should go and eat, I'm starting to feel a bit hangry. I think we should go and eat, I'm starting to feel a bit hangry. Let me know, do you ever feel hangry? I'm sure at least some of you do. A classic one, brunch. Brunch, breakfast and lunch, put it together and you've got brunch. That meal just in between breakfast and lunch, so it might be 11 o'clock possibly, you might have this meal. It's become very popular in Britain to go for brunch. Do you want to meet up for brunch on Saturday? Do you want to meet up for brunch on Saturday? Number four, and we're getting political. Well, I'm not going to get too political here, but the word that we're going to look at is Brexit. Brexit. Britain and exit. It's a sensitive topic. I'm not going to get into it today, but I'm sure you've heard it's the topic of Britain's exit from the EU. Brexit. It's a great example of a portmanteau that has been recently created for this situation. Brexit. Number five, bromance. Bromance. This is brother and romance put together. The definition is a non-sexual relationship or friendship between two guys. An example sentence, two of the new players have struck up a bit of a bromance. Two of the new players have struck up a bit of a bromance. So you're saying there that two players for the football team get on really well. They have a very special relationship. It's non-sexual, it's just a very strong friendship. You could call it a bromance. Number six, Singapore English. Put it together, Singlish. Singlish. So this is the variation of English that they speak in Singapore. I don't know much about it. I'd love to know actually. If anyone knows much about Singlish, then please put it in the comments below. I think it's things like putting the word la on the end of any word or any phrase is an example of Singlish. You can also have Spanglish, Chinglish, lots of other variants. So my example sentence, I'd love to know more about Singlish. I'd love to know more about Singlish. Number seven, glamping. Glamping. Glamorous camping. Interesting concept. In Britain there's a bit of a trend of going glamping. So maybe you go to a music festival and instead of staying in a very small tent that isn't particularly enjoyable, you pay a little bit more and you stay in a very nice tent. Maybe it's a yurt or just a very big tent that has a lot of amenities like hot water, maybe some lights, things that maybe a normal tent doesn't have. Glamping at music festivals has become very popular. Glamping at music festivals has become very popular. Number 8, chillax. Chillax. Chill and relax, put it together, chillax. Maybe you're going home and you're going to rest, you're going to say, oh, I'm going to go home and chillax. I personally don't use this one, I'll be honest with you, but it's a phrase that's out there. Number 9 is a great one, it's very flexible. So we've got the aholic, which means like an addict, and then you can put any word on there. So shop, for example, shopaholic is someone that's addicted to shopping. Chocoholic, someone that's addicted to chocolate. Workaholic, someone that's addicted to work. So this is a very nice example of a portmanteau that's very flexible. You can put a lot of words into that front position to create a new word. Number 10 is cool, Bollywood. Bollywood. This is Bombay and Hollywood. Bombay is the old name for Mumbai, the city in India, and of course Hollywood is where American films are made. You put them together, you get Bollywood. This is the Indian film industry. My example sentence, I'd love to be in a Bollywood film. I would love to be in a Bollywood film. Number 11, cosplay. Cosplay. This is costume and play. This is when people like to dress up in the costume of their favorite TV star or film character and act out scenes or just play, hang around, whatever it might be. So cosplay. That shop sells amazing cosplay outfits. 12 is a British institution, Oxbridge. Oxbridge. This is Oxford and Cambridge, put them together, you've got Oxbridge. Because these are two of the most important educational institutions in Britain, we sometimes talk about them as being one. And certainly you might say, for example, many members of the government went to Oxbridge. Many members of the government went to Oxbridge. So they either went to Oxford or Cambridge. But instead of saying that, we can just say Oxbridge. Number 13, smog. This is smoke and fog put together, you've got smog. It's that type of pollution that looks like fog. It's thick, sort of cloudy substance that covers the city. You can't really see through it. It's pretty awful, to be honest. Smog. So example sentence, smog is a real problem in my city. Smog is a real problem in my city. Next one, motel. Motel. This is a motor hotel. These are generally found in America. You don't really find them so much in Britain. And they are slightly cheaper versions of hotels. Usually by a freeway or a highway, so that when you're traveling you can stop somewhere that's cheaper than normal. Because we absorb so much American culture, in Britain we would know what a motel is. So an example sentence, when I went to California I stayed in motels. When I went to California I stayed in motels. Spork, what a word, spork. A spoon and a fork, put them together and you get a spork. I don't think I've ever really said the word spork, but here it is, that's spork. Next one, ginormous. This is brilliant, ginormous. Take gigantic, take enormous, they both mean very, 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 very big. Put them together and you get ginormous, which must mean just the biggest thing ever, right? It's ginormous. That building is ginormous. That building is ginormous. That building is very big. Here's a useful one, biopic. Biopic. So a biopic is a film about the life of a real person. For example, I recently saw the biopic of Johnny Cash, the musician. So it told me his life story from the highs to the lows. It was fantastic, great music, amazing acting. Our next one is slightly rude, sexting. Sexting. This is to take the word sex and texting, you put them together, sexting. So this is writing sexually explicit words or phrases to someone. I don't think I need to explain much more than that. You guys get the idea. Sexting. But again, this is an example of a very modern portmanteau. A sitcom. A sitcom is a situational comedy. So for example, Friends is the classic example of a sitcom. It was all about the lives of 6 friends who were based in New York. We never went further than the coffee shop and their apartments, to be honest. And the whole show was pretty much based in those 3 locations. So it was a situational comedy, shortened down, a sitcom. Example sentence, Friends was definitely one of my favourite sitcoms. Friends is definitely one of my favourite sitcoms. Number 19, listicle. Listicle, this is a list article put together, a listicle. You've seen them before, I'm 100% sure. Let's say you want to get fit. You could type in get fit into Google and you'll get a list like top 10 ways to get fit or top 100 ways to lose weight. That is a listicle. It's an article that is written in the form of a list. And the final word is podcast. Podcast. This is a combination of iPod and broadcast. A podcast is essentially a piece of radio. It's a piece of radio that you can access at any time. So it's spoken word audio show that you can listen to in the street, on the bus, on the aeroplane, wherever you are, whenever you are. I absolutely love podcasts. In fact, Eat, Sleep, Dream English was originally a podcast before I turned it into a YouTube channel. All right, those are 20 portmanteaus. How was that? Was that okay? Did you enjoy that? Did you know all of those words, or which ones were new? Let me know in the comments below. Alright guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Remember to check out my Instagram account, my Insta stories, where I put daily English content, and of course on Facebook. I've got new videos every Tuesday and every Friday, helping you take your English to the next level. But until next time, this is Tom, the Chief Dreamer, saying goodbye.